Hey guys, are you online like scrolling and looking for a side gig? You want to start a side business, you're working full time maybe, and you want to leave your job and you're looking for some kind of side business that you can do? Well, listen up because I've got a list of 10 ideas that are kind of tailored to people in a small town. Stick around because we're going to get into it. All right. Hi, thanks for coming to my channel. My name is Annika Mai, and on our channel, we help people to build and grow their business. So let's dive right into our list, shall we? So I made a list of 10 ideas or 10 types of businesses specifically for dudes that you could be doing on the side or on the weekends, and then maybe like transition into full time. So here we go. Okay. Number one, fitness coaching and boot camps. Now, I know a lot of you guys like make the gym a priority, and that's good because it's good to be healthy and work out and stuff. But what if you could get paid to work out instead of spending money to work out? That's an intriguing thought. Right. So, you work out every day, you know your routines. Some people, they come to the gym with their little books. That's a little extra. I mean, I can keep it all up here. I don't need a little book to tell me what to do next. I used to do back, biceps, and legs on one day, chest, shoulder, triceps on the other day. You alternate, right? So you got your routine and you already know it. So it's not like you have to go to some kind of trainer, some kind of school to be a fitness coach. So you can help teach people how to use free weights, how to use the machines. Like some of these gyms, they have staff there, but I think a lot of times you got to pay extra to get the staff to teach you how to do stuff. So you can either do it in the gym or you can be a fitness coach, and let's say you can do it online and you can show people how to do it the proper way to do a curl and then teach them that way, or you can do it at a park because the park is free. Now imagine that if you go to a gym that has people that make money off of coaching you, they're not going to take too kindly to you being in their gym eating their lunch. Okay, I'm just saying. So fitness coach and boot camps. You can do a boot camp and you can invite all of your students, or you can promote it online, and you can do like these focus days where you're just working on specific things for their fitness journey. So fitness coach or boot camps. Number two, tech support and repair services for computers. I have two really good IT people in my universe. The first one is in my networking group, and I trust him implicitly. He not only takes care of my software, but he takes care of my hardware. And also, he educates us about cybersecurity threats, and recently that big data breach, stuff like that. So, people like that, if you have that kind of valuable information to share with people, it's very, very helpful. And then also, in hardware, not only in software, but in or support, but repair services. Or like recently, I bought all the components for my new computer. My other one just finally just died. And so I went online with my other IT expert, who is my son, and we put together a build in PC part builder. So we put all of my stuff, all my parts in there. And then when I was ready, I ordered them. And then my other guy put them together. My son lives in Hawaii and my other IT lives here in Las Vegas. So that is tech support and repair services. You can help people in your small town, especially if you're a small town. Somebody like that is invaluable. Okay. So think about that. Number three, personal chef. If you like to cook and you've got a lot of recipes and you've got some recipes that you made up, maybe let's say you're focusing on keto, or if you're focusing on low carb, or sugar free, or whatever your deal is, you could focus on that niche, or you could focus on helping working parents to pre-make their meal so that when they come home from work, they just pull it out of the fridge and the family is ready to eat. So you could be a personal chef and also doing meal prep. Maybe you can do If you live in a small town where there's a lot of elderly people, maybe you can do meal prep. You can pre-cook, like they call them tray bakes, right? You make it like in a pan. Lasagna is a good tray bake. What do you call that? Rigatoni, like all the Italian stuff. But there's a lot of things. What is that called? Shepherd's pie. I never ate it, but I mean, I've seen it. It's like a layer of hamburger, and then you put mashed potatoes on top. I don't know, but maybe you know what, and potatoes au gratin, like all these bulk things, you can make that and deliver it to elderly people who might be homebound and they can't get out too often. So you could do that. There's a ton of things that you could do for cooking. Or let's say you like to bake. Instead of being a personal chef, maybe you can be a baker for a local coffee shop. I know some people, all they do is cakes, and they sell their cakes to the local coffee shops. So every week, once a week, they deliver their cake, or like maybe a couple cakes, and they make them smaller so that they don't get all dried out. So you could do that. You could do cakes, cupcakes, cake pops, all kind of things. Whatever. If you like to do croissants, you can do that. So that's another idea. And if you specialize in a certain area, like I really like to make cheesecakes, and I love to make cookies. So if you specialize in an area like that, that would be a great business that you could start on the side and maybe go into making it full time. Number 4, personal branding and social media consulting. I would recommend you do this if you have success in your own, like let's say you're not a social media professional, but you feel like you've done it long enough and you're really good at making TikTok videos, or everybody wants video now. Right? Video is really, I mean, it has been for a long time. So if you're not on that video train, baby, you're missing the boat. A train and boat. Haha. So if you've got some experience in that area and you can consult people on what you think would be best for their industry, that's an idea. And it doesn't cost it doesn't cost anything to do that. It's just your brain. Okay. Number 5, handyman services. Now, if you live in a small town, and my sister used to live in a small town, she lived in a tiny little town called Boswell, Oklahoma. There were 700 people there. It was not a large town, like by any stretch. But because it was a small town, it didn't attract a lot of young families. So there was a lot of elderly people there, and they always needed stuff to be fixed, right? The toilet, or, hang a picture, or I need my curtains hung, whatever the case may be. A handyman in a small town is another invaluable service, especially if you are somebody that goes by their word. Now, in her little town, there was a thing about handymen that didn't show up when they were supposed to, or they left early and didn't finish the job and never came back, that kind of stuff. So if you are a person of high integrity and you really care about the people that you service, being a handyman in a small town is a really, really great thing to do. Digital content creation. I do this all day, like content creation for anything online. I do graphic design, I do copywriting, I do blog posts, I do landing pages, I do all that kind of stuff. So if you have experience in that area for a small town, let's say you have a little dress shop on the corner and they need some help with their marketing. They want to get more people maybe from the neighboring town to come in and check them out. You can do digital content creation. Help them with their website and, put on some new information, update their website, so digital content creation. And then you could also, if you are so inclined and you are good at the graphic designing, you can create digital products that you can sell online, either on your own website or on Etsy. Okay, so that's digital content creation. And I also want to add, so you could do a YouTube channel, you could do it pretty much from anywhere, right? And there's a couple of pieces of software that I'm not sponsored, but I use and I recommend. One is called vidIQ, vidIQ, and it helps you analyze your channel. It helps you analyze your videos, your thumbnails, your titles, and just to help you make it the very best that you can be. And then also, I create my shorts in video.ai, vidyo.ai. Okay, so here is a fun one. Number 7, urban farming or hydroponics. So there's this guy that I follow. I started following him on YouTube and then on Instagram for a long time. His channel name is Epic Gardening. I can't remember what his name is. I'll have to go back and look at it. Very cute boy. Anyways, so Epic Gardening is the name of his channel. And I just loved watching the transformation. He lived, I think, in San Diego or San Francisco, one of the sands. He lived there and they had a small little place. So he only could garden in like the front of his little house. And but he made the best use out of the whole thing. And then he moved into the country and or not the country, but he moved into like a house with this big backyard and he's growing out his stuff. So anyway, I'll tell you about him. So go take a look at it. You can grow and sell locally produced fruits and vegetables. So if you wanted to do urban farming, so that's like Epic Gardening. He's an urban farmer. He farms in the city, and then you can go to the local farmers market and sell some of your products. And hydroponics. Okay, so if you're into hydroponics, it is a great way to grow vegetables and I think some fruits too. My brother is an expert when it comes to hydroponics. What hydroponics is, if you didn't know, is it's a system where you have fish in a bottom tank and you feed the fish and all of their waste goes into the water and it's like nutrient rich water that gets funneled up to the top part of the hydroponics where your plants live, and they're not in dirt but they're in like cinders or rocks, and so you can grow dirtless fruits and vegetables and they come out super healthy. So you might want to, and I even told my brother, he didn't listen to me of course because he's my brother, you don't listen. I told him he could make a whole business teaching people how to build their own hydroponics and they could pay him to come and maintain it, right? That would be a good idea. Why don't you go take that idea since my brother didn't want it? I'm just saying. Okay, number 8, car detailing. Now this doesn't really it doesn't take hardly any money at all. You're going to have to go get yourself some cloths and maybe a vacuum and polish soaps, whatever else you need, some compounds. But really, that's all. I mean, you can put it in a 5-gallon bucket and that's your whole business right there in a bucket. So you can do car detailing, vacuum out people's car. My son recently was asking me if I knew anybody that was a good car detailer. I'm like, these people come and go so quickly. There's like hardly any of these businesses are staying around. If you do only one thing, like if you do only car detailing as a full-time business, you're gonna have to do a lot of cars in a day in order to make good money. But if you're working on it on the side and you want to build that side business and build it into something bigger, maybe you expand it into tinting and what do you call bed liners. And like there's a company back home that did that. They had auto detailing, bed liners, tinting, and things like that. So that would be a great business to start if you don't have like a technical skill to speak of. That would be a great business for you to start. Okay, number 9, mobile app development. It used to be that it took a lot of coding to develop apps and it was very expensive. I remember this one lady approached me one time. We went and had coffee. She's an app developer. And I'm like, ooh, that sounds interesting. Maybe I want to develop an app for my business. It was like over $100,000. I'm like, sister, who do you think I am? Okay. I don't have $100,000. And if I did, I wouldn't be spending it on an app. So anyway, you could build apps you can approach a business and see if they want an app for their business where people can do maybe some online ordering or, whatever, make appointments. They can have their own app. A lot of industries have apps that they can kind of adopt, but wouldn't it be nice to have your own app that it was branded, right? As a business owner, that it was like completely branded with all your colors, your logo and everything. So you could do mobile app development. And I'm going to give you some ideas for where you can get tools to build these apps because now everything is so easy, right? Some of the app development software is Bubble, Softr, Softr. Glide, I was reading. I mean, I've never used it, but I was reading that it is a very simple app to use. So try and go check those out. Not sponsored, but I just looked it up just to give you guys some ideas. Number 10, an online reselling business. I just watched a video this morning about this young lady that was talking about how people are just being nasty about her being a reseller, like there's something wrong with making a profit. That's a conversation for another video. Okay. So, online reselling business, you buy things. It's called retail arbitrage. So you buy things retail, like discounted, right? You know, buy it at full retail and then try to sell it at and mark it up. Like that doesn't make sense. The idea for reselling is that you have to buy it below what the market thinks it's worth. So you got to buy low and then you got to sell it higher and you got to add your profit. And there is nothing wrong with doing a business like that. So you can go into the clearance section. I remember one time I was, and this was a few years ago when this retail arbitrage started getting really big. Go to Hobby Lobby. I'm looking, always peruse the clearance section, right? Perusing the clearance section, seeing like what they have is cheap, like 75 cents or whatever, you know, those are good deals. But they had these people just like picking everything off of it and, you know, putting it in their basket. And like, what are you guys doing with all of that stuff? Well, apparently they were online resellers and they would get stuff cheap, mark it up, and sell it. So that is a great business. If you have, I would recommend if you're starting out, you just do it like where your expertise lies. For example, if you like to turn a wrench and you like to work with your hands, and so you have a lot of knowledge into tools and what kind of tools are better than others, and what, you know, the idea of like how much this tool costs and that tool costs. So if you have an area of expertise, that would be great, instead of just being like all over the place and like shotgunning everything, because then people will know you like, hey, there's Bobby, he's the tool guy, right? So that makes sense. And it all goes to branding and marketing. And that is another conversation for another video. But this is online reseller business. Now, if you are looking to start a business on the side, you're not really ready yet to get out of your job, but you want to build something that you can, you know, parkour up to the next level and maybe do that business full time, we do have a video about exactly that, becoming an online reseller. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for visiting today. My name is Annie Kamai, and this is Akamai Chats. We will see you on the next one. Don't forget to watch that next video. Bye for now. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe because I know you didn't.